Okay, guys. I hope you guys are good. Remember, we were disturbed on our class, and I promised to record this. And we were focusing on um, what creating classes and implementing a type safe collection. Okay. And you remember we created the application where you enter your name and your surname, all your details, and your ID number. So I'm gonna do the same application, but now I'm gonna be using the Windows Forms. Okay. So and then what's happening here? Okay. So this guy is just going to the thingy, and I want the form, and it's going to the class. It's going exactly to the class. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's loading the form. Where is the design? This thing doesn't want to show us the design. Okay, that's the C sharp for the design. That's the form. Okay, that's the code. Okay, there we go. There is our Windows form, and let's close that. And let's have our toolbox over there. Let me dock the toolbox and let's make it a bit larger. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the components we're going to use. I'm gonna be using the panel, okay, and drag the panel over there, make the panel a bit larger. Okay, on the panel, I'm gonna need to make use of the group. What is that group box? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, there we go. There is the group box. And then I'm gonna drag the group box to here. And okay. And then let me change the text. And let's call it driver. Let's call it driver's info. Okay. And then that's where we're gonna have the driver's information. Oh, Lord, this laptop is giving me a hard time. Then let's go ahead and have the car's information. Okay, and then we change there to car's information. Okay, now let's go ahead and add labels over there. First label, let's get the identity number. Okay, put this over there, and then I need to get a text box. There we go. Put it up there. Get a bit longer. Then let's try to have it there. Okay, control and click, control C to copy, control V to paste, and then you drag, and then you drop it over there. Oh, and then we're gonna change the text property over there. Let's call it the surname. Then we copy that and that. Control C. Oh, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. That is going to be the name. Let's paste again. That is going to be what? What else can we add? ID number, surname, name, age. Okay, we can add the age, and then down there it's going to be we'll see what we put down there. Let's go ahead and say this is the name, and um, let's say this is the license code, and then let's change this, make it a bit no, let's not do that. I was thinking of getting the address, but no. Let's change this to license code, and let's just enter the age, just age. Let's say age. Okay, so let's put this at the center. I don't even know where the center is. But I'm just dragging this, guys. Okay, now let's copy that. Copy, paste, and then we drag them to this side. Okay, and then that's going to be uh, registration number. Okay, and uh, that's going to be the make. Okay, put this up here, put this somewhere here, and then copy, and then we paste. Let's drag this up here. Okay, let's also drag this down here, this down here, this down here, and this over here. Okay, let's copy that and paste. Okay, let's go and say the model, and let's just say the color. Okay, and let me change the size of this, guys. Let's make this a bit smaller, and let's make that also a bit smaller. And then let's change the size of our form, make it a bit bigger, and let's do that. We need to add buttons, so let's add that button over there. Let's make it look funny and make it that long. Okay. What should we call? Let's just call it click me. Okay. So now let's go ahead and change the name property for that. There we go. It's txt id. That one is going to be txt last name, and that one is going to be txt name. That one is going to be txt age. Let's call this one txt code. call that one txt registration. Let's call this one txt make. Let's call this one txt model. Let's call this one txt color, and then click. Okay, so now let's collect the data from these two guys. Remember, whatever data we are collecting in here, we're going to be saving on a number of object arrays. Okay, so let's go ahead. Before we do that, let's add a class before. Okay, but then we can collect the data here. So let's go ahead and declare not a string. Let's say long id is equal to convert to int64, and then we pass txt id dot text. Okay, and then we close that. We declare the string surname, we equate it to txt last name dot text string name, we equate it to txt name dot text int age, we equate it to convert dot to int32, and then we pass txt age dot text. Okay, and then we go ahead, we say string code, we equate it to txt code dot text, we close that. Okay, and then now let's go string rect, and that's going to be txt, what did we call that? Oh, there we go, txt registration dot text string make is equal to txt make dot text string model. Actually, the model is supposed to be an integer, int model, and then it's equal to convert dot to int. What am I doing now? Let's convert dot to int32, and then we pass txt model. Okay, not the make but the model. Did we have that? Dot text. Okay, and then we go string color is equal to txt color dot text, and then we close that. Okay, powerful. Now we've collected that information, so we need to create those two separate classes. So we go ahead, we right click, we go to add, then we add a class. Okay, so let's call this class what? Let's call this class driver. Okay, and then let's go ahead and make it public. Okay, and then we go private long id private string surname private string the name int needs to be a private int age, and then we have a private string code. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a constructor driver, which is gonna receive a long identity, a string, surname, okay, and a string name, and int age, a string license code. Okay, is it all? 245245. Okay, and then we come here, we mutate this dot id is equal to the identity, this dot let's go surname is equal to the surname, this dot the name is equal to the name, this dot the age is equal to the age. Okay, and lastly is this dot code is equal to the license code. Okay, I don't know what the V is doing over there. We delete the V, Control S to save, and then we come down here, we go public, public long, we get the ID, and then we return the ID. Okay, we go public string, okay, I was thinking whether I should merge the two, the name and the surname, but I think it's wise I leave it like this. So we return the surname over there, and then we go public string, we get the name, then we return the name. Okay, close that. Okay, there's an error over there, let's delete that guy. Then we go public int get the age, and then we return the age. Okay, and then we go public get code, and then we return the what? The code. Okay. Okay, there's no data type. That's a string. Okay, powerful. Now let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. Let's go ahead and create a new class. There we go. We're gonna add that new class. Um, let's call it a vehicle. Okay, and let's make it public. And then let's go private. String. We need the registration of the car. Private. String. We need the make. Private. Int. The model. Private. String. The color. Okay. Then let's go ahead and create a constructor for this class. Okay, and then we're gonna pass a string registration, a string make, a string no, an integer model, and then a string color. Okay, then let's go ahead and say this dot registration is equal to registration, this dot the make is equal to the make, this dot the model is equal to the model. This dot color is equal to color. Okay, powerful. And then now we get the accessor methods, which is public string get the registration. Okay, let's remove that guy. And then we return the registration, public string get the make. We return the make. We go public int get the model. We return the model. Okay, then we go public string get the color. We return the color. Okay, powerful. Now we're done with these two guys. So let's come back here and create what we call object arrays. Let's see. Do we create the object array here? Can we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Okay, let's go ahead and create the object array. Driver is equal to a new driver. Okay. Okay, there we go. I think let's go ahead and have two drivers over there. And then let's go ahead and create, okay, it's not car, but the vehicle. Let's call it car is equal to new vehicle. Okay, let's make that an object array. Object array. Okay, and let's also have two over there. So now we're gonna remove these guys over here. I'll explain to you guys why. And let's go ahead and create a method. Let's make it public. Let's call it driver, which is going to return that. Let's call it load driver. Okay, which is going to receive a driver. Okay, let's do that. And then we do that. But now we need to cut all this because that doesn't belong to the driver, it belongs to the car. Okay, and then let's see. I think there's a mistake that I've made, and already I see that this program might not run as we want it to run. But I'll need to come back and check that, and then we paste that.
Why creating
I was teaching them object arrays. Why am I creating an array?
so capturing this?
Because I want to use an array. That's why.
Oh,
So yeah, okay. So now I think we're gonna have a problem with using object arrays. Okay. Reason being, we need to make use of a for loop or a while loop or any type of a loop. Okay, in order to capture those two drivers. Okay, so I think this is gonna give us a problem. So let's just create an object, not an object array. Okay, let's just create object Okay, it's gonna give us those errors on our objects, and I'll show you how we can fix that. So here, this should return an object, this should return an object, this should return an object, this should also return an object. Okay, so reason why it's giving those errors, okay, in order to deal with the error that we have there, we need to return the drv, close that, that error disappears over there. Here we need to return veh, the error disappears, but we still have those two errors. It's because we do not have default constructors this side. So we need to create a default constructor in order to get rid of those errors. Okay, let's come this side also and create a default constructor. Okay, and then we save that, and then when we come this side, there's no longer any error. Okay, so we go ahead and say drv is equal to new driver. Okay, and then now on the driver we need to pass in what? We know that the first one was the identity, second one was the surname, and then third one was the name, next one was the age, following one was the code. Okay, then we are done. We come down here, we create another object, we call it what? Okay, it's veh, which is equal to a new vehicle. Okay, remember on the other side we created default what we call these two guys. Let's delete these two guys actually. Okay, this is one way to solve the problem, creating these guys over here. But wait, let's see. Okay, let's leave them like that because now I'll be confusing you guys. Let's leave it like that. Okay, on the vehicle, let's see what's the first. It's the registration. So it's the registration number, the make, the model, the color. Okay, and then we close that. Save everything, and okay. So now let's go ahead and create another object. Let's call it loaded driver, which is equal to load driver. And then when we call the load driver, we need to pass in what? The empty driver. Okay, then let's go ahead and create another one called vehicle. Let's call it that and equate it to load cars, and then under load cars we pass in car. Okay, boom, now we have passed in all that information. Okay, but problem is we are not displaying this information anywhere. So let's go back to our design and add, let's see, what can we add? Let's add a label. Let's add a label, and let's delete the text property of the label and change the name property of the label to LBL display. Okay, so let's come back to our code. And after that we go ahead, um, let's declare a string, let's call it display, and equate it to let's go ahead and say identity plus let's call the loaded driver dot get the ID. Okay, plus let's jump to a new line and get the surname plus go ahead and say the loaded driver dot get the surname. Okay,
Oh,
plus let's jump to a new line.
quick question. Why couldn't you, on your design, form design, why didn't you just put it in
Okay, so after the surname is the name. Let's call the loaded driver dot get the name. Okay. Um, okay, and then after the name, what follows after the name is the age. So let's jump to a new line and get the age plus loaded driver dot get the age. Okay, and we jump to a new line. We call the license code. Then we call the okay. We call the loaded driver dot get the code. Okay, so that is going to be the driver. Okay, and then actually let's call this driver. Let's call it drivers. And then let's create another one, call it string cars, which is going to be we need to jump also to a new line and say registration number, and then we add loaded okay, it's not loaded, it's vhcl dot we get the registration plus we jump to a new line, we call the make plus vhcl dot get the make, and then we jump to another new line, we call the model and then we call vhcl dot get the model. Okay, and then we say the next one is after the model is what? It's the color. So we go color plus vhcl dot we get the color, and then we close that. So we go ahead, we call lpl display dot text is equal to, we go ahead, we display the driver plus, actually it's not the driver but it's the drivers plus the cars, and then we close that. Okay, so let's go ahead and minimize this and run our application. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3 August 55, it's C1, let's go with HMC 940 MP. Make this a quantum model. It's 2017, 2016 model. Color is white. Okay, then when you click me, all the information is displayed down here. Okay, can you see that? So that's the identity number, that's the surname, that's the name, that's the age, that's the license code, registration number, make, model, and the color. Okay, now let's go ahead and after doing that, um, okay, let's copy that guy over there, copy, and then paste him here, paste, 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 paste. Okay, then it's giving me errors for now. Okay, so this should be equal to nothing, equal to nothing, equal to nothing. Let me just copy this, paste, paste, paste. Okay, so that's going to be the txt. Okay, choose h txt. Oh, that's the last name. That's why it's giving me that thingy. Txt name, txt, that's id last name, code, txt, registration. Let's copy that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Txt make, txt make, txt model, txt color. Okay, let's run the application one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's gonna give us an exception over there. Then let's go ahead and fill this part. C1 HMC 940 MP. It's 2016 color white. Boom. There we go. Now we've cleared our text boxes as we enter the information or as we click the button, and the information is displayed down there. So that is how we make use of classes using a Windows form. Okay, so I hope you guys have learned something, and this is going to be super useful for you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email and ask me anything. Okay, I'll be super delighted to answer. Okay, so cheers, guys.